Hello everyone and welcome back. It's been a while, and hey, the winter season is here. Now I'm sure you guys would have already decided on what to watch, like the second season of Konosuba or Showa Genroku Raku Shinju, more Monster Girls, Demis, D-Cup Dragons, Gabriel Dropout, I Must Protect Satania, and Masamune-kun, which everyone will be watching for one reason or another. So today I've got a couple of recommendations on which shows you should be watching.
これってさ、オナホールだよね。
So there are only a few shows I'm really excited for, one of them being One Room, which is a first-person anime with a lot of these creepy shots of the girls' thighs. The heroines are cute and every episode is really sweet.
Yeah. Oh. Oh! Smile!
But there's this one show that I just couldn't get over, and it's obviously Fuuka. Now, Fuuka is everything a good anime should not be. It's a typical boy meets girl situation. The main character is dense as fuck, the supporting cast is boring, and the animation is lackluster. And don't even get me started with the amount of cliches in this show. But there's a certain charm in it. Yes, it has the single worst opening 2 minutes in anime history. Yes, the characters are all a little bit retarded. Just look at this scene. However, I actually enjoy this show when I treat it as a comedy. In fact, I find it to be funnier than other comedies of the season, purely because of how predictable the plot is and how dumb the characters are. The guy has 3 sisters who only appear when it's convenient or for fan service. The guy has a childhood friend who is a famous singer. Her name is Koyuki and is voiced by Hayami Saori. She seems to be the best girl at the moment, but the childhood friend never wins. The guy has a stalker on Twitter who turns out to be this cute girl.
Oh shit, what up, cuck boy?
As you can tell, it's not meant to be taken seriously. So as long as you don't take it seriously, you'll definitely have a great time watching it. I also had the pleasure of finishing the first arc of Seiren, which is another romance anime this season. This show takes the omnibus format, which means that the main character will fall in love with one of the heroines of the story without it turning to a harem. The first arc's heroine is Tsunegi Hikari, who enjoys teasing our main character. And speaking of which, our main character is so fucking weird. He has these wild fantasies every once in a while, and blushes at virtually everything. Oh my god, she's drinking from a cup that I just touched. The first arc ended rather anticlimactically, so I'm hoping the next 2 arcs will be better. Enough of these romance shows. Let's talk about something else. How about Battlefield 1, the anime? Well, not really, but here's the closest thing you'll get. Yojo Senki is about Tanya, a young girl who became a soldier in an alternative version of World War I where mages exist. A lot of people were turned off by the abhorring designs of Tanya, which is near the uncanny valley. Good thing I stayed and watched episode 2 because in it, everything was explained. A utilitarian salaryman living in modern day Japan was killed and reincarnated for insulting God. In this alternative version of Germany, which is on the verge of going to war, she sought to climb the ranks in the military and stay as far as possible from the front lines. One of the cool things about this anime is the air combat action sequences. Since Tanya had an aptitude for a mage, she was deployed in the mage division where they could fly around. It's actually a really interesting show, and I would recommend it if you're looking for shows of this genre. While I do want to suggest Gabriel Dropout, I am aware that not everyone here is interested in these kind of slice-of-life comedies, despite the shit I post on Twitter. So here's a slice-of-life comedy made by KyoAni called Kobayashi-san Chi no Maid Dragon. This manga adaptation marks the first KyoAni anime not set in a high school. Toru is a dragon who was saved one night by Kobayashi and decided to become her maid. Being a dragon living amongst humans, she must adapt and learn to be more like them, despite her innate characteristics of a dragon, such as having superhuman abilities and feeling superior to all humans apart from Kobayashi. Other dragons also join the show, including a cold butler-looking dude who got addicted to playing video games, a big booms girl, and a lolly dragon who is really cute. Apart from Kobayashi, there is her colleague Takia, who occasionally turns into an otaku. Oh yeah, and there's an Ahega loli. This show is actually surprisingly relaxing to watch after a long day of work or school, and that's a full recommendation right here. So obviously I'm keeping up to date with Gintama and Rakugo because they're fantastic, but you should also be watching Konosuba Season 2 for obvious reasons. I'm also watching Demi-chan wa Kataritai because of the succubus sensei. Masamune-kun is honestly your average high school rom-com, which is becoming exactly what I expected to be. It starts off strong and began to dip in the middle, and eventually it's gonna conclude with a less than spectacular ending, and then will force you to read the manga. But I must say it has a great soundtrack. So these are basically my recommendations for this season. Did I miss any show that were really good? Leave it in the comments. And if you want, smash that motherfucking like button. Check out my Kitsu to check out what else I'm watching this season, and follow my Twitter to see what trash I'm posting every day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. And my dog is barking outside. This is just the life of David trying to record a video. My dog's just gonna bark at random intervals. Since Tanya had an aptitude for a mage, she was deployed in the what is this, fuck Akiba strip the animation?
What?
Hello everyone. So today is the 14th and it's Valentine's Day. So I thought today's a good day for me to do one more roll of the Fire Emblem Heroes Deep Devotion Gacha. Now, if you follow me on Twitter at all, you know how desperate I am to get Camilla. And I thought, hey, maybe today's Valentine's Day, you know, maybe luck will bestow upon me, and you know, maybe I'll be able to get Camilla today. So I already bought 23 again. This is like what? How much money have I spent on this? Like probably around $50 already. So I have 26 in total at the moment. I might do one summon and just see if I get any greens, because I know Camilla is a green. So let's check it out here. So now this is obviously a very bad roll. I really don't actually care. Get the fuck out of here, alright? Okay, so not a very good roll again. I might just get the green out of the way and see what's up. Yeah, so once again we got a really fucking disgusting dude here. Again, not a very good roll. And I guess I'm fucked. I will never get Camilla in my entire life, even after spending $50. This is a very good game and I love it so much. I didn't get the Diva skin, I didn't get Camilla, and I definitely am not getting Mysterious Heroine X in Fate Grand Order. 2017 is not going to be a good year for me. Fucking hate myself. Don't watch Kuzuno Honkai.